Melton, who emerged in the game against Minnesota last week in a big way, over 100 yards. That one goes for 8.
This is the youngest team in the National Football League, and these receivers have shown me something, Jim. You talk about Bo Melton right there. You didn't realize this guy is lightning. He's a 4.3 guy at the combine, and he has instincts. And you saw Wicks already, their 5th rounder earlier. Christian Watson, who's hurt with the hamstring, but they've got talent.
You saw Watson looking on. 2nd and 2. As Jones finds it for another first down. We're going to talk a lot about the youth on this team. But, Tony, if they were to win today, the Packers would be the youngest team to ever make the playoffs since records like that were kept in 1978. So ever since they've ever been a matter of record, you're talking about the youngest team in the postseason if they win.
You've got to give Matt LaFleur a ton of credit. What he's done, the changeover, Rodgers obviously a huge part, and they've shifted this offense, and they are doing. They're doing almost it's the same, right? But it's different. They've done it for the players they have here. It's been impressive.
Straight ahead goes Jones, and they'll put him just a touch inside the 15.
Oh, it looks like they're rotating the right tackle position.
Yeah, Nyman's been coming in and out. Zach Tom is back in now.
They don't normally rotate, Jim. It makes me think someone got hurt. Tom for a little bit, and then he's back in. You see the last in the NFL in the red zone. That's one of the Achilles heels for this Bears defense.
Here's a 2nd and 5, Tony. Bouncing around, looking, throwing on the run. Oh, what a pass and catch, but it's incomplete. Romeo Doubs not able to take it to the ground.
And he's another one who's had an outstanding year, one of their top receivers on this team, and I thought he actually came down with it, and then a great job by Stevenson to get his hand in there. That's what they teach you right here. Go under, right through the middle, and push it out. Boy, that was close right there.
Yeah.
Almost an incredible catch.
It would have been just amazing. Tyreek Stevenson, rookie for the Bears out of Miami, makes the play. They're without Jalen Johnson today, the Pro Bowler who's just been brilliant.
Yep.
3rd and 5, 11th play of the drive. And there's Love in trouble. Wrapped up back at the 25-yard line. DeMarcus Walker. Nate Burleson in the studio. We're going to send it to you for an update.
All right, we have Dak Prescott. Here we go to Jalen Torbert. They say helmet or higher in the back of the end zone. Torbert goes up and gets it. Dallas Cowboys lead 7-0. Back to you guys at Lambeau.
All right, Cowboys with a win, take the division. Of course, meanwhile, Philadelphia is playing at the same time, hoping somehow Washington can beat Dallas and that the Eagles could beat the Giants to overtake them. 41-yard attempt coming from Carlson. Anders Carlson, 25-year-old rookie from Auburn. And this one is no good. Boy, they had the football for a long time, over 6 minutes. Marched down the field, the sack, pushed back the drive, and then the field goal was wide left. But they would end up as the Lions would, if Dallas or Philadelphia wins, which you're going to expect. Meanwhile, the Saints, kind of the same thing. They beat Atlanta, in fact, blew them out. So they're currently in that 7th position, but Green Bay with a win would beat them on a tiebreaker because the Packers beat the Saints head-to-head this year.
That was really well said right there. Made that simple.
1st and 10. Here is Moore. Oh, that was horse collar-like, dragged down, but Valentine with the tackle. Here's DJ Moore, who was in some respects just like a throw-in on that trade last year from the Carolina Panthers, and a lot of people initially said, man, that is a very valuable asset Chicago's getting, and boy, did that prove true.
Oh, he is their #1, no question, and like I say, he's quarterback friendly. He knows how to come back, help you, and he knows zones, how to get in there, and he beats man-to-man coverage. That's all you want.
Roshan Johnson, straight ahead. He's got some power. Rookie out of Texas, running behind Nate Davis.
And I expected to see this a little more. They came out with throwing the football on that first drive, and kind of got Green Bay a little bit, but I'm really, we talk about Getsy. He's really come on in my eyes, Jim. He layers concepts now. He's evolved it to what Fields is good at and what their team is this year, and they can run the football at a very high level and make the game short and very fast.
As you've said a couple of times, the leading rushing team in football is Chicago. 2nd and 2. Fields still has it. He's in trouble, and he ducks down as Gary was the first to get to him, as well as Preston Smith.
I want you to watch right out here. He's going to have to fight to get inside, and right there, once he does, ball game. He uses his leverage back in to Taylor right there, and that's not a good matchup. Taylor, go ahead and block Gary and just work it outside of him. No.
3rd and 6.
They're moving the line to the left. Pressure coming, they thought.
Probably a little outside of field goal range, and we've closed the first quarter.
I like that call. You're right there. Can't take a sack. You just need to get some.
Love threw for 245, 3 touchdowns, no picks. We start the second quarter with the Chicago Bears facing a 3rd and 6. Deep drop, and speaking of being dropped, the Packers closed in on him in a hurry, and Wyatt was able to get the sack.
I want you to watch the left guard right over here. You talk about it. Jenkins doesn't hold up, and this is a formidable front, especially when the season's on the line. Wyatt right here. He's had a productive year. Put him, Kenny Clark, Rashawn Gary, and Smith all rushing at one time. Good luck.
Trenton Gill will try to pin them inside maybe even the 10-yard line.
I can't help but think about, like, Packer fans, that field goal that was missed. This is your season on the line.
That's right.
Like, every play, you are nervous.
Back deep is Jaden Reed. Makes the fair catch at the 8-yard line. 42-yard punt. So Jordan Love and the Packers will have just their second series of the game. We're already in the second. Out later.
Yeah. I was on the left. You were on the right.
Oh, yeah.
High talent and athleticism these days, and it has been a huge difference. And I think just the staff, Matt LaFleur doing a good job, him and Stenovich, of just figuring out who they are. And honestly, if they get in, they are dangerous, Jim. They have talent, and they are playing their best football of the year right now.
Here's a 2nd and 7. Look at that, wide open. The pass is right there for Jaden Reed out to the 45-yard line.
Reed, their 2nd-round pick this year. The dagger concept is going to go up right into the middle, and you clear out people, and you bring someone else behind him right in the middle, and what a throw. This is where I find Jordan Love, his ceiling. I'm always trying to look at the ceiling of things, and you saw the throw that was almost a touchdown, right, to Dobbs that was dropped. That shows you he can make these plays that just not everybody can. Stuff like that in rhythm, and that ball coming out right on time. He's got a high ceiling, Joe.
32 yards, and now quickly able to give it to Wicks for 8 yards. And for more, let's go down the trace.
Jim, we saw Bears right guard Nate Davis going into the locker room. He has a foot injury. He is questionable to return. And you talked about the rotation between Nyman and Zach Tom, and that was just because Zach Tom was getting his fingers taped up. So he's back in there, good to go. One other note, keep an eye on Romeo Doubs. After that attempted touchdown catch, he came in, went into the tent, was looked at for a while. He was cleared to go back in, but something to watch.
All right, Trey, 2nd down and 2. Here's the handoff. And the Bears are right there for Bo Melton. Let's see where they spot it. It's right near the sticks. Tremaine Edmonds, the former Bill, had a good season for them. Made the tackle. That was a big acquisition for him.
Yeah,
it's first down. Yeah. I mean, you talk about what they did with Edmonds in the offseason and Sweat in the middle of the season. I mean, they've got a foundation.
They absolutely do. And The future is bright for this Bears organization. We talk about the #1 overall pick and what they're going to do there. You get a ton of draft picks. You take the quarterback. So much of that depends on today, I feel like.
It really does. There's Love. Looking for options down the field. Instead, just dumps it off to Heath.
You know, these young receivers, we've mentioned it already, how Green Bay's the youngest team in the league and Chicago's the 3rd youngest. And that's kind of what happens when you're this young. You've got to improve as the season goes on and start to figure out who your guys are and what they're good at and what positions we should put them in, you know, and who to be utilized in, you know, what situational ball. But I still remember 2009, 10, 11 when Green Bay got these receivers all together. And they had Greg Jennings, Donald Driver. I mean, you had Cobb, you had Jordy Nelson.
It was quite a group. 2nd and 8. And they were together for a long time.
Yeah. And I'm not comparing these guys to them yet, right? But they do have depth at the wide receiver position. And you got a quarterback who has very similar numbers to Aaron Rodgers in that first year he ended up playing.
Well, timeout call by Chicago. They got caught in a shift change.
That's a hockey term. Look at you.
Oh, yeah.
Just showing
They
off.
know a little bit about that this way. But, you know, we saw that graphic a moment ago, that receiving core.
The tight end, 85 of really displacing the defensive end on the right side. You can't help but love Aaron Jones. People don't know him. He's one of the best kids out there. And he's such a talent, Jim. Works hard. The team is different when he plays.
Here's a 1st and 10. And they're going to pick up short yards. Back to your point about Aaron Jones, though. What a great personality, too. Now we got a little scuffle here in Jones.
He's not going to get in a fight. You can't talk about how great he is, so he's going to go out there.
I know.
But this is a very important game. What happens is right here at the end, you'll see the extra stuff coming in, and Aaron comes in to help his teammates. That's what you want to see by your guys. This is a this is a rivalry at the highest sense, right? This is one of the oldest ones, one of the biggest rivalries in both these teams. Chicago wants to play like it's a playoff game, I promise you.
That was 2 rookies squaring off, Stevenson and Heath, and now you go back to Jones, who gets within a yard of the first. And back down to you, Trace.
Jim, as I just mentioned, Romeo Doubs came off the field after that last drive. Was looked at in the blue tent. Right now, he is on the bike. He did go in for 1 play, but he's dealing with a chest injury, and his return is questionable.
So riding the bike, chest injury, that's something that has hit Reed and some other players this year. Wicks, and look now this time it's Melton and Eddie Jackson. Another 6-minute drive, the 3rd one of the game combined. 3rd and 1. Timeout call by Green Bay. Matt LaFleur ran down to make sure they didn't get slapped with 5.
Well, and that's just on Wicks. You can see he's pointing at his chest saying, that's on me. It's a running play probably to the left, and he's got to fit and get in there and get the safety. And he wasn't in position to do it, and the clock is running down.
Well, as you know, Tone, the playoffs kick off Saturday, Super Wildcard Weekend presented by Verizon. 12 teams, 6 games across 3 days. It's an epic weekend. The road to the Super Bowl. Super Bowl 58 starts here. Stay tuned. Later today, the announcement of the full schedule. But next Sunday, we know this. Our Sunday kicks off with the best of the business. The NFL Today here on CBS and streaming on Paramount+.
I mean, the parity in the NFL this year, it's been incredible. I mean, there was 20 teams with technically a chance going in, the most ever.
Amazing.
Going into Week 18, and now we're down to basically this game right here almost.
This holds a lot of cards. As Love on 3rd and 1 wants to go up top, looks to the end zone. The pass is on the money for the touchdown. Dontavian Wicks.
What a route. Look at that route right there, and then right there, look at the eyes. The quarterback's looking this way, and then he comes back, and off his back foot has a little Aaron Rodgers to him, little Brett Favre.
It's a Green Bay thing, I guess, huh?
It really is, and I'll tell you about...
Extra point's good. Held your breath for a moment.
I'm going to tell you when we come back.
Wicks, who just scored visited the Green Bay Food Pantry. Thanked volunteers for their hard work and community service and helped present a check to the pantry. Wicks, who was the 159th player selected in the draft. He's a good one. He led the Packers in receiving yards for the month of November. Someone different has led every month this season. November was his, and he's got a big game going here today at the start with 3 catches, 37 yards, and the score. Herbert for 41-yard line is achieved. Let's take a look at Next Gen Stats Tone, powered by AWS.
Well, the Packers' pressure rate in week 1, they played a lot of zone. Vision on the quarterback. A lot of it today, just 1 or 2 snaps of man. But right now, these guys up front are wreaking havoc. And if you're going to hold on to the football, this has been the recipe for Chicago to win recently, though, Jim. It's the 200 number Eberflus talks about, which is 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, no sacks. Right now, they're losing on that. It's 202.
Here's 2nd and 3. Scrambling around and throws it away. There was a lot of pressure. Tried to get the ball to Scott.
And when you get that kind of pressure in the game, we just showed you the Next Gen Stats powered by AWS there about how that's already happened a bunch early in this game. Go ahead and run this right here. Watch the pressure right up the middle by Walker, timing the pressure perfectly. And that's where at least he gets rid of the ball. Valentine does a good job on that side. You're going to see Alexander, 23, follow DJ Moore a ton like he did in week 1 now that he's back. That's a game changer for Green Bay, Jim.
3rd and 3. Johnson